Really cool. A lot of people have been asking for a while to be able to buy my kits, and yeah, I think there's two colorways. I decided to wear purple today because I felt like it gave more day vibes, and obviously there is an orange kit for night. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I guess I'll take the free promo question. There's a pop up at Federation Square, and you can buy.
Coco Gauff has done it again for New Balance, and this time the numbers aren't just impressive, they're downright staggering, the kind that make an entire industry stop, blink twice, and ask how it just happened. The young tennis sensation has once more proven that she isn't only a force of nature on the court, but a full-blown marketing phenomenon off it. And what unfolded in the immediate aftermath of her first match at the Australian Open sent shockwaves rippling through the global sportswear world, leaving competitors scrambling to understand how New Balance executed such a flawless, almost surgical marketing coup. Let me take you inside exactly what went down. Coco Gauff walked onto the Australian Open court and claimed her opening victory with the calm confidence and razor-sharp skill that fans now expect as her signature. But it was what followed moments later that truly lit the fuse. During her press conference, instead of sticking to the usual talk of tactics, rivals, or match analysis, Coco dropped an announcement that had clearly been choreographed with military-level precision, revealing to the world that her Australian Open kits and merchandise were live and available for purchase at New Balance stores right then and there. The reaction was instant and explosive. Sales didn't merely rise, they launched into the stratosphere, blowing past even the most optimistic internal forecasts as fans, still buzzing from watching her dominate, rushed online and into stores to buy the exact gear their idol had just worn. The timing was immaculate, the execution flawless. But here's where the story takes a sharper turn. This wasn't luck, impulse, or coincidence. New Balance knew precisely what they were doing. Long before the first ball was served in Melbourne, the brand had already committed, internally and unapologetically, to going all in on Coco Gauff. They understood her star power, recognized her influence, and most importantly, trusted her ability to move merchandise at scale. While other brands cling to the old formula of waiting to see tournament results before launching campaigns, New Balance chose a daringly different path, understanding that Coco didn't need to win it all for fans to want to look like her, dress like her, and buy what she wore. Her presence alone was enough, so they made the bold call to go live during the first Grand Slam itself, letting Coco announce that every kit she'd wear throughout the Australian Open was available immediately. It was guerrilla marketing at its finest, and the results don't just speak, they roar, because they aren't merely great or even excellent, they are nothing short of phenomenal and unforgettable.
Anyone tell you that you should just do your sport, because no one just does their job. Make sure you explore all parts of you and you feel like that part of it.
Their annual sales climbed to an astonishing $7.8 billion, marking a 20% jump over the previous year. And that is not some minor uptick you casually gloss over. It's a seismic leap that lines up perfectly with Coco's accelerating rise and New Balance's calculated decision to put her at the very center of their tennis narrative. What's truly fascinating here is that New Balance isn't chasing novelty for the sake of it this season, and they're not tearing everything down to reinvent the wheel. Instead, they're doing something far smarter, refining a formula that already proved it could win, sharpening it, speeding it up, and making it hit harder at exactly the right moments. To understand how intentional this all is, you have to rewind to 2023, the year Coco Gauff captured her very first Grand Slam title at the US Open, a career-defining moment for her and a turning point for New Balance that had been quietly planned long in advance. They were ready, waiting, watching the clock, and the instant Coco sealed that historic victory, not hours later and not the next morning, but literally seconds after the final point, New Balance launched celebratory merchandise honoring her win. Everything was staged, loaded, and primed, and the button was pressed the moment she became a Grand Slam champion, giving them an enormous head start before competitors even realized the opportunity was there. That single move sent a clear message across the entire industry that Coco Gauff wasn't just a name attached to their logo, she was the engine pulling them back into relevance in a tennis market where they had been losing ground. She brought customers, attention, momentum, and something even more valuable, credibility. And that is exactly why New Balance committed to a jaw-dropping $300 million deal with her last year. Because this wasn't a routine endorsement, it was a 6-year partnership valued at $50 million per year. A statement that they weren't just betting on Coco, they were building their future around her. To put it all into perspective, this deal places Coco among the highest-paid athletes in endorsement history, not just within tennis but across the entire world of sports. And that alone tells you how seriously New Balance views her value. They looked at what Coco was delivering for their brand, the momentum, the visibility, the sales, and they made a clear-eyed decision that she was worth every single dollar of that massive investment. But here's the tension quietly building beneath the surface, because contracts like this never exist in a vacuum. In the years ahead, that agreement will almost certainly be revisited, renegotiated, and fiercely contested, because the competition isn't slowing down, it's heating up. Nike and Adidas, the two titans of the sportswear universe, are not the kind of companies that sit back and watch another brand enjoy this level of success uncontested. They will make their move. They will come armed with enormous offers, promises of signature lines, global campaigns, and every imaginable incentive designed to tempt Coco into switching sides. And yet, until that moment arrives, if it ever does, New Balance has every reason to be grateful, because Coco Gauff didn't just help their tennis division, she fundamentally rewrote its story. She turned what was once an afterthought into a revenue-generating engine, bringing visibility where there was none, credibility where it had faded, and sales numbers that would have seemed unrealistic just a few years ago. What we're witnessing in the partnership between Coco Gauff and New Balance isn't accidental or ordinary. It's a masterclass in how athlete endorsements work best when belief, commitment, and long-term strategy are perfectly aligned, and when both sides understand that they're not just sharing a logo, they're building something bigger together. What makes this entire situation even more extraordinary is the sheer authenticity behind the partnership, because Coco genuinely appears to believe in New Balance and its products, and that belief doesn't feel staged or scripted, it feels real, and consumers can sense that immediately. When she tells the world her gear is available, fans don't hear a paid line, they hear trust, they believe she actually wears it, relies on it, and stands behind it, and that kind of credibility is worth far more than any flashy advertising campaign money could ever buy. As the Australian Open unfolds and we continue to see Coco suited up in New Balance gear during every match, every practice, and every press conference, we're witnessing a marketing phenomenon play out live, right in front of our eyes. Each time she steps onto the court, she isn't just competing for points or trophies, she's actively generating revenue for New Balance in real time. Every victory triggers a sales surge. Every appearance fuels attention. Every announcement sends traffic flooding to the website. This isn't accidental, and it isn't traditional, it's a new blueprint for modern sports marketing, and New Balance has unlocked it flawlessly by aligning themselves with Coco Gauff, turning authenticity into momentum and momentum into measurable results.